Okay. Salam alaikum, my dear brother Isaac, and salam alaikum, my dear sister Amina. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Assalatu wassalam ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah fi kuli umari astain. Allah fi kuli umari amjid. Innahu subhanahu wa ta'ala wa sultanahu ala samawati fil ard. Muhammadun huwa sayyidina makmubina inhu kana rasulan nabiyan. Salawatu Allah ta'ala wa salamuhu alayhi. Ba'ad. Salamu alaykum rahmatullahi lil ikwani wa ikwati fi din wa salamu ala taba buddha. And all my dear brothers and sisters, thank you for showing up today, and those who will come, inshallah. Let me give a shout out here to my nephew. Thank you, my dear nephew, Adrian. He's here. And Kyle. So I'm happy to see him show today as well. And today, my dear brothers and sisters, I'm not going to cover anything on the Quran. Ramadan's approaching for the Muslims. Those who are not Muslims should understand Ramadan is a sacred month for us. And it encompasses many different facets. And the Muslim in this time had the opportunity to make up for many different things that he was deficient in during the year. And that's prayer, that's worshiping, the remembrance of Allah, our dhikr, and so forth and so on. Here in this month, we fast. Fasting means from the dawn to the break of dawn to the, well, I forgot my English here, to, I guess, the first evening, as the sun go down. And so we fast for those 30 days. And we have, we sleep very little, because after the last prayer, as many of you know, we have 5 prayers. You still must complete your 5 prayers per day. And after that, we have what is called Tarawih, which we have different prayers where we have recitation, and we have prayers that can be quite lengthy. And then you go to sleep again, and you get up about an hour, maybe an hour and a half before the break of dawn, before the first announcement of the first adhan, and then you eat again. You eat some food, drink, because you won't be able to drink during the day. And during our month of Ramadan, during this time, during the fasting, you must be on very, very good behavior, meaning you stay away from arguments. You stay away from conflicts. If you go out, try to do your best to stay away from conflicts. You can have no sexual relations between you and your wife in between this time. Now, after after you break the fast, then you can, if this is what you want to do, you can have intimacy with your wife, or even before the break of dawn. But once the break of dawn occurs, the activities such as that must cease. And the penalty for breaking this is very severe in the Sharia. It don't mean death, I don't mean that way, but you would have to fast additional days. And fasting 30 days in itself, for me, is very difficult. and you would have to fast consecutively, and it's many days, and it's very difficult. Um, the Ramadan also is a time for purification, purifying the heart, and it's important at this time as well that you ask Subhanahu wa Taala for forgiveness a lot for your sins, because we all sin. And this is the time that you also try to make pledges that you can keep, that you will stop certain things if you can, that that get you in trouble, and you ask Subhanahu wa Taala to you know to purify you and to help you at this time. And one reason why you notice the title, as I talked about, the African American or the African in the diaspora or on the continent, nobody really talks to us about anything. So I'm taking exception to that. I'm going to talk about the African, and what I mean by African, I'm talking about all. I'm talking about if you live in L.A. or you live in France or you live in Jamaica or Trinidad Tobago. Your descendants are from here, Africa. You're African. So I'm not going to call you. You're African American. Guess where you're born, but you're African. So I'm putting all of that down, is say that Africans, period, across the world. And one of the significance of our fasting is that we still have to maintain our health. And this is something that we as African Americans especially are faulty at. And those also in Europe as well, because of the Western diet, it's very detrimental on our health. And so when you have Ramadan come around, many are already in bad condition. And so therefore, the fasting is kind of harsh on their body, because your body goes through a shock initially when you do fast this way. And so I'm going to cover some things about that to protect you, because nobody talks to us. We have very little who help us, and we have to go and look up things, and sometimes we have the wrong answers or we do not know. And I give you an example of that. When I first became a Muslim, I didn't understand some of the ins and outs about Ramadan. And one time I had fasted almost practically 36 hours, because at the time I was working, and I didn't know that I could break my fast at a certain time. And I was dizzy. I had no water, no food. And I was really out of it until I made a phone call. And then finally somebody told me, hey, you better hurry and go break your fast, because you should have broke your fast a long time ago. So that goes to show you that we don't have people to come to talk to us. So with this said, I'm going to also talk about some of the things that I do inside the house that help you to maintain your health, especially during the time of Ramadan. And I'm just giving you suggestions. Now, I will say that those who are on preconditions, if you're under care of the doctor, you stay under your care. If you have certain medications, you take your medications. You do as your doctor has told you to do. I'm not here to circumvent anybody's medical condition, nor discuss anybody's medical condition, because I'm not a doctor, and that's not what I'm here for. Here, I'm just going to give you suggestions that may help you to help purify the inside of your body, especially during this time, and even after Ramadan. Some of the things that I take. Let me give you a backdrop by Ramadan. Do you know that a lot of the, I would say, great majority of the wars fought in the early period of Islam was fought during Ramadan? So you can imagine, here you have warriors fighting against the Romans and others during Ramadan. That means at break of dawn, they had no water, no food to energize themselves, and they fought until the nighttime, and then they broke off, and then they broke their fast. So if they can fight, whereas you're exerting a lot of energy, because fighting those days is hand to hand, with the sword and small knives and so forth, spears. So this goes on from the day to evening, and so you can imagine how tired. So if they can do that, we can do it, because we're not exerting a lot of energy. And this is important, that this backdrop, you understand that, because even me, boy, the fasting, I sit there and say, oh, this is rough, because in my heart, I want to eat, I want to do everything, and I'm weak, and so I say, when is this going to hurry up so I can break fast? This is a normal occurrence, but you have to fight that off. And I want to say to you also, my dear sisters and brothers, that the non-Muslims, you can also benefit from the way the Muslims fast, because our Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam has given us the directions to help you. And scientists have concurred with this method of fasting. It will actually purify you. And it'll take, according to your body, between anywhere from 3 to about 10 days into fasting, that you will notice the change. A lot of the toxins in your body would have left the body, have left you. You'll start noticing some of the ailments that you have, like with skin, especially some of our sisters, some of our young brothers who have hormonal changes. They will notice that their faces and stuff will be cleaned out. You'll notice that your body functions will also be clear. You'll notice the first couple of days, we're adults here. That's why we have no children here. A couple of days when you go to the bathroom, you'll notice that there's distinct differences. But as you get clean, you'll see the differences as well. Urination and defecation, you'll notice the differences about between 3 to 10 days. You'll see the differences in that. And during this time of Ramadan, you have to maintain a nice diet. We African Americans, I'm included. I'm not going to lie about this. I love barbecue. I still love barbecue. Sometimes I even fantasize about eating barbecue hot links and all this type of thing, and chicken, barbecue chicken. I miss all that. Sweet potato pie and potato salad. I miss all of that. But during Ramadan, we must stay away from heavy meat like this. You should not eat it when you break your fast. Do not eat the heavy meats. I suggest that you have a little bit of chicken if you need it, or you have fish. I would stay away from the red meats if you can do it, and have very little of that. And also make sure that you get, now, when I was in 2005, it was difficult to find good dates. But my understanding now, you can find dates everywhere. There's Muslims everywhere now, and you can get yourself some good dates. Get good dates and have those dates available and ready, because they are so nourishing when you break your fast. And I'll get into some of that in a bit here, inshallah. And I want to also add here that we Muslims fast at this time, and we have certain assurances from Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and from our Prophet ﷺ that we'll get our rewards for this. One of these things, which is not from the Sharia, is not from the Sunnah as well, is the reading of the Quran. If you can do it, you read the Quran from the first chapter to the last chapter, if you can. And if you can read it in Arabic, that's even better. And even if you struggle, the reward that you'll get for it is multiple. And also the prayers during this time are multiplied. So the Quran is extremely important at this time, because you should be reading it every day and quite often inside your house, and you read the Quran. And even I use the Quran in everything that I do. So when I get up and I make my meals, my drinks, which I'll get into, then when I'll do the like Tarawih early in the morning, maybe if I'm up, if I feel fresh enough. Then I'll do a couple of these, which is your salat. I do 2s and 2. So it's 2 rakats, and then taslim, which is right and left, and you say certain verbiage. I want to go over to salat, but I don't have the camera for that yet to show you the correct way to pray. And so this is what I'll do. And when you take I'll go into this. When you take your meals, you make sure that you don't take a lot of foods that are heavy. A lot of people make mistakes, because especially in the morning, they'll eat a lot of food. You're not going to feel good. And then you drink a little bit of water, because you'll notice you'll lose the water during the day and you're not going to feel good at all. So you must maintain that. And as a sister Amina here has said about Ramadan cleans out the body very well, it does. It does. And scientists have proven that it does clean you very, very well. So when the break of dawn comes and you hear the first adhan, you must stop your drinking and eating. You must stop it. You cannot eat anymore. And that means you cannot take any more drinks into the time of Maghrib, where you hear the adhan for Maghrib prayer. Now you can start eating again and drinking. And you'll notice by the time, I'll say between, again, 3 to 10 days, you'll notice you won't be able to take as much food in as you were before, because your body is really being cleaned out and your stomach is shortening because now you're not taking in a lot of food. And a lot of people lose weight as well during this time. They'll lose fat and so forth. But you must keep your mineral intake. That's important, my dear sisters and brothers, that you take the right minerals during this time to make sure that you maintain your strength. And especially get older, like myself, you should maintain those balances in the body, because your body's going to go through a stress. Now, once you start noticing about 15 days in, your body's got really accustomed to it. The fasting actually becomes easier. But at the start, you have that immediate shock to the body. And then, you'll start thinking in your mind, oh, I want some cookies. This is me talking. Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll think about cookies back in the United States, Chippewa cookies or something. And I'll say, I wish I could have that. But that's your heart talking to you, and whatnot. And let me give you another thing about the thing about Ramadan. During this time, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala locks up the devil. So now, and he's in jail for these 30 days. That means him and his crew, okay, cannot affect you, meaning he cannot sway you to start doing things wrong. If you begin to sway yourself to do something wrong, it's from your heart, because the devil is not there anymore to persuade you. If you have something to tell you, Yahya, why don't you, hey, there's no harm doing. Do that by 1 hour before fasting. You real hungry? Why don't you go over here and get a bite to eat? Nobody's going to see you. That's from your own, what we call nefs, from your heart. That's not from the devil. The devil's not telling you that, because he's locked up for those 30 days. This is important. He's locked up for those 30 days. And so that's why I said you must purify your heart as well. And this is the time to do it in Ramadan, because the devil is not there to participate. And let me give a shout out to my dear sister, Linda. She's come and like, I miss them and I love them a lot. She is my blood sister and my nephew, as I told you earlier here. So, I miss them a lot. I haven't seen them now close to 15 years. And so you can imagine how that is when you see now you have your family come, how important family is even to all Muslims. So I'm glad my dear sister Linda showed up here today as well. So my dear brothers and sisters, the Ramadan is no joke. It's a serious matter. And it's a matter that has to be taken seriously. And we must go into it with the right mindset as well. I will say this, I've been messing around with herbs for about 50 years. And I started basically kind of in high school. I began to experiment and read and so forth and so on. And I began to take these herbs and begin to study. And of course, I evolved. But I noticed something that I have discovered. When I came here to Africa, my knowledge as far as herbal just skyrocketed. It's like Subhanahu wa Ta'ala said, okay, I'll give you some of this inside the United States. But when you come back to the continent, I'm going to even enrich you more. And I was enriched. I found herbs that I knew about, but I forgot about, but I did not know how to use it. And so these herbs have helped me in the process of adjusting here in Africa, because you need that adjustment. Because when you come from the West, you'd be surprised how filthy the body is. I mean, you'll be shocked just about how filthy the body is when the food that you eat there in the United States. And then when you come here to Africa, the food tends to be much cleaner. The fruits, the vegetables, because everything is fresh. as I said before, and those who know that, who've come to Africa, you have it goes straight from the farm. When the farm man comes, he drops it at the market. It goes straight to you. There's no middleman. There's no this, that, and so forth. The farmer, he has his food. He brings the tomatoes that morning. You buy straight from him in a marketplace. And so you have things that are pretty much fresh. And same thing with chicken. You can go to we have a big market and you get the chicken that's already processed. But if you want fresh chicken, we have places around here and you go and say, look, this is what I want. And the chicken's right there. You can pick him and he will do the plucking and he'll clean it real quickly and cut it for you. So the food is quite different in Africa than it is in the United States. And especially in the North Africa, the foods are much different because we have more or less a Mediterranean diet, but you have olives, olive oil, and you have meats and stuff. But olive oil is very important. And then you have dates as well. And again, like say the olives, you'd be surprised the what olives do for the body. And the zait, the oil, the olive oil also does for the body. And here also we have homemade bread. So the bread that you get in California, like at Albertsons or Ralph's or some of the big chain Boys Market, those big chain markets like this, we don't eat that kind of bread here. Everybody basically makes their bread inside the house. So it's much more wholesome and better for you. So we have that bread. And, I make a joke all the time. When I was in the United States, somebody told me about some olives, I would laugh, because I know olives are only for liquor and so forth and so on. And when I came here, everybody also seeing olives every time. And I made a joke about the olives. I said, it's going to grow. I'm going to grow a tree in my stomach from eating all these olives. But I learned that olives are very good for you. And now, if I don't have olives in my house, you ask my wife, I'm upset. I say, hey, where's the olives? And I go have somebody go get us some because we have olives here all year round. And we have, of course, because we live in the Mediterranean, and the olive is a Mediterranean plant, and it grows all across the Mediterranean, and it's delicious. And we have the black and the green, and so these are essential. Those are things I was talking about in essence that will help you, my sisters and brothers. And salam to who is this Malik or Malik Bison. Salam alaikum, my dear brother. I will start here on showing you some of the things on how I take the herbs and so forth. And again, my dear sisters and brothers, it's important, especially the first 10 days of the Ramadan, you maintain a good balanced diet. And we can do that easily. And matter of fact, on the internet now, you can put in Google Muslim diet for Ramadan, and you'll find many different things. I suggest highly that you look those things up because especially in Africa, the Africans can give you a lot of tips about eating good and still fulfilling your body without being too heavy. Because if you eat a lot of food, like for your breakfast before fast starts, and you eat real heavy at night, it's bad news for you. You have a lot of gas and you're not going to feel well because your stomach is not adjusted. So you should eat a little, and you have your meal, and you stay away from, of course, if you're Muslim, you got to stay away from liquor. No Muslim drinks and no Muslim smoke, but you also stay away from soda pop. All the sugary foods like this, you stay away from. Potato chips, barbecue chips, Fritos. I'm trying to remember all the other ones there. Fritos, all of the things I used to love to eat. Cheetos and all that. You should not eat that during Ramadan because there's a lot of preservatives and stuff, and your body's being clean, and you're not going to feel well when you start eating that stuff, and you stay away from that. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit into now. I'm going to move the camera some. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I take, and I'm going to discuss some of the things so that way you'll have some ideas. And now I'm only giving you ideas here that will help you during the time of Ramadan because they work. And I've saw that, and it's essential, my sisters and brothers, that during this time that you maintain a balanced schedule and don't deviate from it. Because you'll notice during Ramadan, your times in the bathroom, everything will be on. I mean, it's like clockwork. You'll know certain times of day what's going to happen. Because why? Now your body is adjusted and your body is now ready and your body is cleansing itself. So you know at 6 in the morning, you know what happens at this time. And it'll be just like this on a regular basis. And it's good to see that and good to know that your body's working that well, that you know at 9 o'clock, this is what happens. At 12 o'clock, it happens. This happens at 3 o'clock. And your body will be giving you this because why? You're now treating your body very well. Your body is repaying you for this by making things regular for you. But you must maintain, again, that diet and stay on that. So I'm going to adjust my camera here so I can show you some of the herbs. And I'm having my wife here to help me give them salam.
Salam alaikum wa barakatuh, all family. You are welcome.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Now you can't see me, but I think you guys. And good. Okay. Hope everybody can hear me, my dear sisters and brothers. And I'm going to show you some things here that I use. Here is saffron, and I use this. And of course, you know, black seed. This is very, very good. You should have this. And speaking of black seed, our ancestors have been using this for about 3,000, 4,000 years. There's no excuse for any person, especially an African, not to be taking that because it's our herb. We've been taking this. We were the first one taking this. And we've been taking this for 3,000, 4,000 years. So you should get this. This is the cup that I use as a big cup for my drinks. And here is cayenne pepper. You must have this. Don't listen to people when they tell you cayenne pepper is no good. It is good for you. I remember, and my sister could tell you, my dad, when he was living, he had a lot of problems. He had this one year, he had a lot of polyps in his colon. And I had told him and jumped on him and said, Dad, please take the cayenne. And the cayenne actually burnt out the polyps. So cayenne is very good for you as long as you do it right and take it right. And also here we have oregano. You see here, this is a must. You must have this. And you put this as a tea as well. And you can mix many different things with this. I'll put my email address. Anybody wants a schedule, I do this. Especially here in my country here, there's a lot of people that I assist in these matters like this. And we have, my wife also, we have a program that we give people on herbs and so forth and so on. So this is oregano. And then this is peppermint. This is also must. You notice when you take peppermint that your breath is sweeter. And you notice when you take the peppermint as well, it sweetens the stomach. And so those who have chronic bad breath and so forth and so on, especially after they eat, they have a lot of gases and so forth and so on. This will help to eliminate that. And one of the most important things too that we don't think about much is the cloves. Here, there's the fresh cloves here, and you should take the cloves. This is essential. The cloves is a good deterrent for any virus. And there's studies out there that show you that it's a deterrent for for the COVID. It's not a cure for it, it's a deterrent, meaning it will help you, especially if it comes into the stomach area, it'll help to neutralize this. Now, let me go back here to the black seed. The black seed, we have doctors who have done testing, and they've shown this thing here, what it does to the COVID virus. And I have that analysis, about 19 pages. Anybody wants it, I can send it to them. It's in English, and it's been translated into English, and it's very, very good for you. And what it does to the virus, it's striking. Okay, it eliminates it essentially. And it's striking what it does for you. And it's too bad that we're not making vaccines out of this. And we have, like, if I remember correctly, in northern Nigeria, why you notice there they don't hardly have any virus, because the brothers there in northern Nigeria take black seed. And the virus is very little there, very, very little. Now, one of the other essential ingredients I also take is lemon juice. If you can get fresh lemons, that's even better. But here, I'm not in the United States anymore, so we have a season for our lemons. But if you can't get that, you get, the natural lemon juice, which you should have. This is another essential. You should drink this as a first drink when you wake up in the morning. You mix this with ginger. I should have brought my ginger. I didn't bring ginger. Or you can mix this with apple cider vinegar, and in a tall glass of water, in a big cup, and it should be warm, not cold. And you mix these two. This should be your first drink. So you get up and you have an hour before the adhan, before you have to stop the eating. Your first drink should be these two here. You mix this with warm water and you drink it. And then you should have another drink of water, 15 minutes maybe after that, just regular water. And then you eat your meal. And then now, after you eat your meal, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes before the first announcement of the adhan, that means you cannot eat or drink anymore. You should have combinations of this. You mix, you can have black seed oil, and you can have your tea. Saffron tea is good for the brain. We all know that. And you can make the saffron, and the saffron, you can make the tea. And essentially, my sisters and brothers, you can mix all of these together. You put about a teaspoon of oregano, teaspoon of peppermint, teaspoon of clove, and you let it sit approximately 10 to 15 minutes. And then you drink it. You strain it, and you drink it in a large cup like this, and it should be warm, and it should be just the consistency should be right. So about a teaspoon here, and a teaspoon of this. Again, teaspoon of clove, peppermint, and oregano. And then you take another teaspoon of oil, which should be your black seed. This is going to help you tremendously. And there's another thing as well. The cayenne, you can also incorporate this. All of these here go together very well. You don't have to worry about if you're going to get in trouble. They don't match. They do match. So essentially, you can almost have a potent drink that you have 6 different herbs in there. And also, psyllium, psyllium husk. We have been taking psyllium in one form or another in Africa, again, for another 3,000 years. And African Americans in particular have gotten away from that. So you should take psyllium as well. So put that down, or those who review this tape again to get the listing. Make sure you have your psyllium. Now you say, Yahya, when do I take the psyllium? You take the psyllium, which you should take about a teaspoon of psyllium with warm water. Now, you can mix the psyllium with this. There's no problem. And you have about a teaspoon of the psyllium, and you mix that. You stir it and you drink that. The psyllium will help to keep you regular. And everybody understands what psyllium does. It coats the colon and the intestines, and whatever is there, it helps to push it out. This is essential, especially in fasting, even not fasting, because you want to cleanse your body, and you want food and everything to pass out quickly, so it doesn't germinate inside, and this is what causes bad breath. So I've kind of given you some of the things that I take, and I found it to be very, very useful. And if we can bring the sisters here in particular, but they can't speak English, most of them can't speak English, they will give you a testament to a lot of these herbs that we have told them to take, and what they have done for many of the sisters who had problems, a variety of different problems, and it helped them tremendously. And one of them was, again, the constipation, which affects people, especially when they get older. But you must keep up your drinks. So let me refresh something with you too, my sisters and brothers. When you get ready to fast, you should have a total at least of 4 glasses of liquid. So you'll have your first drink in the morning. It should be your lemon with apple cider vinegar. And the apple cider vinegar, the strength should be 5. and you should get the natural with the mother in it. You know, the still got the mother in it. Don't get the one that was about, it has no, it's just clean. No, you take the mother with it and you shake it, and then you pour it out. You pour out about a tablespoon of that with your lemon and fresh water, warm water, and you drink that. Then you drink another cup 10 minutes after that of fresh water by itself. Then you have your meal with one milk. If you want tea, no problem. Now, as you get closer to the time you get ready to go on fasting, the adhan's going to come about 20, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. You take 2 more drinks. So you'll take, this time, the third drink should be water by itself. Again, warm water, big cup drink. And your last drink should be a combination of the herbs. And now the adhan sounds. Now you have to break everything off, and your body should be very hydrated at this time. So I'm hoping, my dear sisters and brothers, that this will be a guide for you. And I'm going to put information there. And anybody want to get a hold of me to talk about this, I can go more in depth and give you a schedule. And there's some other herbs I didn't even mention here we also use, like cumin. Those are also that work very well. But in the Ramadan, you know, we're limited to a certain degree, and these are the essentials that I like. So again, you can mix all of these: your saffron, your cayenne, your oregano, your peppermint, and your clove, and you mix this in a tea, and you should let it set again 10 to 15, 20 minutes, no more than 20 minutes. Strain it and drink it. And then you take your oil, okay, which is your black seed oil. And I don't believe I should not hear anyone having any problems about bathroom, okay? And if the men who have prostate problems, this will help you as well to alleviate that, to shrink it, and you'll notice the flow will be better. Some of the sisters who have problems as well, this will also eliminate some of the urinary tract problems that may occur that you've had, and this will help to eliminate that. So, my dear sisters and brothers, I hope I give you a guide here to help you. And as I said to you many times before, any information I get, I always pass it on. Any information I have, always pass it on, because I'm an elder. I should pass on what I know to help you in your life to make it better. So we can help our generations as they come, and they have knowledge as well, because this is what a Sheikh Islam is supposed to do. He's supposed to give you knowledge. Student of knowledge is supposed to pass that knowledge on to the brothers and sisters. And we just don't have that enough among the Africans. We don't pass much information on among each other, and that's bad news. So this is again, anybody wants a schedule on this, I'll put my email and everything, and then you guys can get a hold of me, and I can give you a schedule to help you, because Ramadan is fast approaching. So I'm going to adjust the camera again. Okay. Okay. Now, so my dear sisters and brothers, you know, we have in Africa, our brother Isaac talked about that. That's very true. We have many herbs, even here. I haven't even talked about that you can use. There's a plethora of herbs that we have here in Africa that do wonders, and we, you know, we should study those herbs. And it's amazing what we have here in Africa to help you. And our ancestors have been taking this for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and we should study that. I'm saying information. My sister here, Linda, was talking about the black seed in Amazon. Yes, that is true. Now, you know, let me give you some advice about the black seed. Here, this particular black seed, I like this one. Here, it's by Turkey. It's coming from Turkey. Remember, when you buy the black seed, you need to look at the herb that's in it, and you should have a ratio. It'll tell you a ratio, how strong it is, because not all black seed is the same. It's not. The black seed oil is not all the same. So you should see the thiamine, it should be like between I think about 2 to 4. If you see a ratio like that, if you see numbers of 1.5 to 3, don't take that. This particular one here is, and why I like it, I love it. The taste of it is very smooth, and I'm trying to remember now what I can't see it now, which what the ratio is, but you should learn the strength of it, and that's the one you get. And you try to get the ones between 2 to 4 in that ratio, then you have a very, very strong oil. It's essential that that when you buy the black seed, that you get that. And this particular one I like a lot. It's Turkey, from Turkey, but there are supposed to be college graduates who formulated this. But I love this particular black seed. It's very, very good. And also there's things I want to cover. You remember I was talking about the meat. My sisters and brothers, please stay away from the meat. In America, in particular, it's filled with hormones, and we all know what's happening with that. In Africa, we're starting to get like that as well. We're starting to feed our animals a lot of hormones, and it's starting to translate into cancer that was been unheard of. Now it's starting to pop up even in our African populations. But still, we are still better than in the West. And I would recommend, even after Ramadan, that you limit the red meat. And you stay mostly with the chicken and fish, more like a Mediterranean diet. And here because we're at the ocean, I mean, we have a steady fish. And my favorite two fish are, the sole, filet of sole. I remember my mom used to fix that. I remember Linda can tell you about that. And also we have the sardine. Here we have the real fat sardine, and they're very oily, but that oil that comes from it is very good. And those are two of my favorites. So I have fish here 2-3 times per week. And I demand it. As a matter of fact, especially filet of sole, I love it because we have different ways to fix it with olive oil and also coconut oil. We use coconut oil as well here, and it's delicious. And you can like with this filet of sole, you can fry it a little bit, and it's very, very good. And my nephew here are talking about things. I harped about this many times. My sister said she could testify this, and my nephew here also could testify about my mother. My mother had a gift. She was something, a wizard. I mean, she was something as far as fixing a lot of the snacks. And I still chuckle about things my mom used to fix. And, we can talk about when we used to go. Now they retired. They were living in near Arizona in the desert. And, when the kids would come, the kids at the time, they were very little, we would go to the house. So my mother and father's house, my mom had ice cream, cakes, cookies, the whole gamut. And those are the good times. And all the kids, the grandkids would be there, and they loved that. And thank you. And so, even though some was not healthy, but that was a good time for us. But now in our day and age, we understand the sugar and stuff is not good. I also recommend to you, my dear sisters and brothers, that during this time of fasting, stay away from white sugar. If you must have sugar, you take date sugar. Now, I heard it's prevalent there in the United States now, date sugar or coconut sugar. Stay away from artificial sugars. The artificial sugars are not good. Okay, they're not good. Yes, my sister's talking about, yes, my mom was some type of woman. She did. When the kids come over, the grandkids, boy, I mean, they had a field day with the snacks. I mean, it was something. But, if you need to have sugar, my sisters and brothers, please, I recommend highly that you get the coconut sugar and you get the date sugar. This is the best if you have to have it, because the index of glycine in it is very low. And it's even recommended some diabetics. But again, you need to clear that with your doctor. And stay away from the white sugar. The white sugar is a killer. And you see the test has been happening here in the last 10 years. White sugar is a killer. And it kills us quickly, more quickly than others. You know why? Because we still are African, even though we've been 400 years in America. that white sugar does not agree with as much. There's something in it. There's ingredients because they use a chemical to whiten it. Now, here we have pure sugar cane. Here we have pure sugar cane sugar, pure, straight. I mean, they get it here, and it's processed according to the African customs, and it's delicious. It's delicious, but the index is still a little high. It's still a little high. I wouldn't recommend it at this time in Ramadan. If you can afford it, my sisters and brothers, get date sugar and get coconut sugar. Those are very low, and the body adjusts very well to that, and you don't have that repercussion and everything. Because the white sugar, because it's been chemically made, and processed, it's addicting. It's like a drug. We all know that. We all know, what Snickers, Hershey bars. If my sister, I don't know if my sister Abina, I don't know if she's here. She's from Compton. We go and talk about all the candies, and even my sister could tell you when we used to walk to school, we get all these candies and stuff, and come back from we go to the bakery. There was a Mexican bakery. We used to go get the Mexican bakery over there and get our snacks, and we had candy. I mean, galore, every type of candy that you can think of. But it was full of sugar, and we laugh because all our teeth should have fell out because all the candy we ate, hard candy, soft candy. But now we know it's not good for you and everything. But the sugar is a killer, our sisters and brothers, and you should wean yourself as much as you can from that. And also during this time, cakes, pies, stay away from it because inside the United States, they're full of sugar and it's white sugar on top of that. If you must have that, then do something to use coconut sugar or you use the date sugar in lieu of the white sugar, because the white sugar is a killer and it kills us and it gives us a lot of diseases. Since I've been here in Morocco, I winged off that some years back and I saw a difference and change. I was still, we started to have Snickers here and I would go get Snickers because I was still hooked on the white sugar. No more, it's over. And that's gone out of my system and everything. And as I begin to read about the white sugar, it's deadly. It is deadly. It's chemically processed. It's addicting, and it's no good for us. So you, please, my dear brothers and sisters, stay away from that if you can. If you want to drink your tea and you must have something sweet, then, again, if you can get it, if you have the time to get it, get coconut sugar, get date sugar, and use that in lieu of that, and it'd be better for you. Matter of fact, it's good for you. It's much better. So my sisters, brothers, I covered a lot of things about Ramadan. I didn't get into all the things about the worshiping because you can get that everywhere. I wanted to talk to the African people because nobody talks to us. Nobody discusses our health. Nobody helps us to formulate what we should do during Ramadan. And so, you know how I am. I'm a Pan-Africanist as well. I'm a Muslim. Yes, I'm a Muslim, but I'm still Pan-Africanist as well. And I still love my people. And therefore, I try to look out for my people as well. And it's not a racial thing. It's not a racism thing, but who takes care? If I don't take care of my own, then what kind of person? I should not be trusted. If I hate my own, then how can you trust me? That's how I look at that. But as far as Muslims, we're in the back seat and nobody tends to care for us. So I said this morning, I was talking, I said, you know what, I think I want to do something today to talk about Ramadan and also to talk about health and pass on some health, tips that help my sisters and brothers in this regard. And like I say, if you review this tape again, you can go over to get the herbs, everything, or like I say, I can write something. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Abina. We were talking here, about the candy, and we joke about candy cookies. And my sister Linda, she's also in here now. You probably see her, and we were discussing the things about cookies and all that. And and I wonder, me and my sister Abina, we've talked about this before. I wonder if we could take this candy like we used to eat it. I don't know if we can do that anymore. But boy, I tell you, when I was a little kid, I mean, and we used to have this thing too, and I'm getting off the subject a little bit, but I want to reminisce because I'm an old man now. I used to get, I forgot what they called that, Ranchers candy. They had there was a fire stick, there was apple, there was a lemon. I'm trying to remember. And we would stock the pockets. That was a fad, to show you that you had your candy. You put all the candy in your pockets. Boy, that's Compton. And so you got to remember, my sisters, brothers, Compton. I'm from Compton, proud of it. And so in Compton, when we were young, it was it. I thought the center of the earth was Compton. I didn't know what existed outside of there as a young boy. All I knew was Compton. I thought the whole center of the earth was that. Yeah, there you are. Jolly, yeah, yes. Jolly Ranch, yes. Those candies, I love that, especially the apple and the cherry as well. And you used to put it in your pocket, and you stack your pocket, and you walk to school with a whole bunch of it, and your pocket would bulge out full of candy. It was those days, but I couldn't do that anymore. I know those days over with, but I still like to reminisce about those things like that. And my sister, we talk about that because my mom had all kind of cakes, pies. My nephew could talk about that. And those days, are over, but it was done with love. But now we're at the age, and even for our younger brothers and sisters, we have to take better care of our health. And one of the best things is fasting, my sisters and brothers, because when you fast and you fast the Islamic way, it's proven to be a cleanser and a purifier, and it works. I would suggest to my brothers and sisters, if you want to partake in an Islamic fast, if you're on any type of medical or something like that, you always clear that with your doctor. Always clear that with your doctor. If those who don't have any impediments, you try it 1 day, 2 days to see how you feel, or maybe 3 days, and try the Islamic way of fasting. I'm talking about the non-Muslims, and you try this, and you probably find it be beneficial for you. And it works. It does. And scientists have shown that the Islamic way of fasting, these 30 days, it really, really does wonders for the body and for the brain. And coupled with the fact that when you take the herbs, as I talked about here, like saffron nourishes the brain. That's essential that we have that. And remember something, my sisters and brothers, the saffron is one of the preventers of Alzheimer's, and they're killed my father. Alzheimer's killed my dad. And so, he didn't take much saffron. But now we have these things. We have all this information out there. All of us should be on saffron because it cleanses the brain. It helps to prevent that. As well, coconut oil, my sisters and brothers, prevents the Alzheimer's. There's some ingredients in coconut oil as well that will help you to ward off from Alzheimer's, and it's a killer. We all know that. My father died from that, and it's going through the African American community like a wildfire. But we got African Americans in particular at a young age already have Alzheimer's, and so you have two things in particular. You have saffron and coconut oil will help ward that off. But the best one is this black seed. Our prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, said this cures everything except death. And he's just right what he said. And you got to remember something. Our ancestors in ancient Egypt, when the pharaohs died, they had the black seed in their coffins with them to take them to the hereafter. That's how much they thought about this of the black seed. And we have gotten away from that. And this black seed is something else. You got to remember something. It's ours. It comes from the African continent. We were taking it first. We utilized it first, and then it spread as the others begin to come to it. They try to figure out why they had ailments, and they saw these people taking black seed. They didn't know what was going on. And you read some of the documents that were submitted about the black seed, and then as the Greeks begin to get it, the others begin to get it, and they've been to try to cultivate it and so forth. But we had this first. and we've been taking 3,000, 4,000 years. And it does wonders. It prevents everything outside of death. This is what our prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, had said about that. So this is a lesson today, my dear brothers and sisters, away from the Quran and Sunnah that I'm always harping on. But I wanted to get into this because we're so close to Ramadan. And our people need it. African people, we need the facts about health to help us to train our bodies, to get our bodies to be friendly to us, and because we've been making our bodies like an enemy, and our body's been reacting because we have been mistreating it. And the African people, especially, even Africans come from the continent, they go into the United States, they begin to do the same thing as the African Americans begin to eat, and their health begins to deteriorate as well. And they forget about the African herbs and so forth that they took, and food stuff that they took, in Ghana, in Nigeria, or in Senegal, or Gambia, or Senegal region, or Guinea, and they forget about that, or the Cameroons, they forget about that, and to the detriment of their health. But we have to get back to that. And so today I've given you some of these things, my sisters and brothers, and I'm going to give you my. Some of you may have already have my email. I'm going to give you my email address here. If anybody, no, it's not Calpo's here. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait a minute here. What did I do? I did something. I did something wrong here. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I did something wrong here. I pressed the wrong button here. There was a question asked about Ramadan. Ramadan is coming here in a couple of days. It all depends on when the moon is going to be shown, and then again, like I said, let me see. It should be in a couple of days, because the days, the 11th, it may be in some parts of the world, it may be tomorrow, but I think most of the parts of the world is going to be about Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And 12 or 13, so we're talking about Tuesday, Wednesday, accordingly to where the Ramadan will come. And one of the essential things, again, is the preparation of for Ramadan. I'm getting a lot of messages here. I did something wrong. I don't know. I pushed something out. It took me out of this. But I'm going to go into my phone and get that address put in there because I tried to do it and I pressed something and it went out. Newsletter. Okay, there it is. Okay, there it is. There it is. This is my email address, dear brothers and sisters, and this will you can use it even if you have Islamic questions. You can send it there. Also, those who want more private type of counseling, I'll give you my WhatsApp, because I use my WhatsApp a lot. Okay. 60130. Okay, this is my WhatsApp as well. So you can leave. I have people send me messages. People ask me questions about Islam, or they make comments or something. You can send also to my WhatsApp. I prefer the WhatsApp because it's more secure. You know, I'm living in Africa, and we know some of the sensitivities, but the WhatsApp is more secure than the email addresses. We know that. So I gave you that. And so you have my email address and you have my WhatsApp address. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, about ready to close here. You know, as I've always explained to you, Islam is a living religion. It's not a weekend off. It's not 5 days a week. It's always something. But we as African people and African Muslims in particular, we should be more aggressive with our people, meaning to give them knowledge. Some of us have knowledge that we should be passing on. We should stop the jealousies, so forth and so on, and take that knowledge in. I'd be remiss if I did not give you that knowledge, because the Prophet ﷺ talks about that as well. Subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about that. We should give this knowledge, and especially since we have suffered for 400 years. And remember something, as I said to you many times, the African American and the West Indian, he suffered. The South American African suffered, but our brothers on the continent went through a brutal colonial period as well. And many of us in the West don't understand that. They went through a brutal colonial period as well. So 400 years or so, we have been struggling, and we are always seen on the back seat as far as getting the knowledge. And when we do have it, a lot of us don't give it, and some of us don't even want to receive it. But I'm of the opinion, like I said, here on my channel, I'm going to give you what I can, and I'm going to give you what I know, and I'll give you the proofs behind it, because that's what we're supposed to do. And so, inshallah, Ramadan will come in a couple of days. I think about Tuesday, Wednesday, according to where you live. I'm not sure how many shows I will give. I will, if there's something, I may give a show and whatnot, maybe a couple times in Ramadan, inshallah, if he gives me permission to do it, I will do some shows. But don't be, I may, because everybody's going to be going through some changes, especially me, because I tell you, I'm not a fasting person. And so the first couple of days, boy, I get hit hard because you have a little bit of sleep. And so I'll think about if I have some of these lessons and everything. But as you know, on my station, I try to give you what I have, and I try to give you the proofs for it. And I thought about this, and I prayed. Subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me an answer to say, look, do this today about Ramadan, and give some knowledge to our sisters and brothers about the herbs and so forth to help them even after Ramadan. So I'm doing as Subhanahu wa ta'ala is kind of instructing me. The angels is instructing me, because I always pray to ask for guidance. I always ask for guidance in my prayers. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm always making dua to Subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, to ask for this guidance. And I ask him, what can I do? How can I do this? What should I do? What can you give me this knowledge? I've always asked this. So whatever I get, I try to pass it on, because this is the right way. And as I said before, my sisters and brothers, be very mindful of what you watch on the YouTube. Be very mindful of that. And if there's something that you don't quite understand, you have my in particulars here. You can get a hold of me. I can clear it up for you, because we want to make sure that we as African people have the right information, so we can conduct our business correctly in Islam. And the non-Muslims as well. If you have questions, if you have concerns, you're thinking about it because you have a son or you have a daughter or something that has come to Islam, and there's some things that you don't quite understand, get a hold of me. I've had this happen. I've had some people give me some information about things that's happened in the family, where we had a husband come to Islam and the wife didn't come to Islam. We had older children that come to Islam, and the parents didn't know how to adjust to it. So, I'm here for that. I'm here to help to ease that situation, to answer questions. And if I don't have that answer, I'll surely get that answer for you. So, okay, my dear brothers and sisters, I'm hoping today that I gave you something. And I'm smiling a lot today because my sister Linda and my nephew was here. And I miss them and I love them dearly. I haven't seen them in 15 years. And I wish one day I'd be able to see them again with permission of Subhanahu wa Ta'ala and give them a big hug because I miss them a lot. And of course, my sister Abina from Compton, you know, she has my respect and love. I've been knowing her for many, many, many years, 60 years as well. So all of us is Compton. So, you know, I'm kind of biased in that regard. And my dear brother Isaac, he's always supportive and he's a good brother. And I know he's trying to get that knowledge. And I hope Subhanahu wa Ta'ala grants him that knowledge and so forth. I'm hoping I don't miss some of the people as well. You know, my sisters and brothers, there's nothing better on this earth than to have relationships among African people. We must nurture that. We must nurture that, my brothers and sisters. We must do that. Inside America, West Indies, whatever, the African people, irrespective of where you come from, we're one family. We should be more mindful of that and more supportive of one another and to nurture the relationships between us. We have to do this. It's essential for our survival. We must do this, my brothers and sisters, because African people, it's not a thing of racism. We're not trying to exclude everyone else, but we have been excluded. We're not excluding anybody else, but we're trying to get ourselves to talking. And now we have the media to do this. So we should do this, and we should to nurture this relationship between us because we have to do this. It's essential, and it's part of African culture. Is that build up, the building of the relationships? I'm looking here to see. Here it's okay. Yeah. So my dear sisters, brothers, I'm going to close here right now. And, you know, as usual, I always ask Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to bless us and to keep us safe. And when we leave our homes, especially in the West, being a person who's African living in the West today, it's a, you know, it's a detriment. And it's too many ways that you can die inside the United States as an African man and woman. And so I ask Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to protect our sisters and brothers, especially in the West, especially in the United States, that he protects them when they go out, and protect the children as well, and protect all of us from this virus. This virus is no joke, it's a killer. So we ask Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to spare us the grief, spare us from getting it, and to protect us from this virus. And I also ask Subhanahu wa Ta'ala to make it so that the African people can join together, the Africans on the continent with the brothers in Europe, and the brothers in Europe and Africa with the brothers in United States and Canada. And then we have our brothers in the West Indies and South America. We have some type of union or something like this. And then we get this nurtured. I hope Subhanahu wa Ta'ala can give this. I'm hoping, I always envision something, you know, my sisters, brothers, I always see these words, this like a Pan-African Congress, a Pan-African Congress, where sitting at the table, we have brothers and sisters from everywhere. Some are Muslim, some are Hebrew, some are Rastafarian, some don't have no religion at all, but they're all coming together for one common goal, and that's to improve the lives of African people everywhere. I see this. I always wonder about this. I want to see this thing fostered, and I'm hoping Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will grant that, and then we'll take care of our own and stuff like that. And again, we're not talking about exclusion, but we've been excluded from everybody else. So we're talking about ourselves, getting ourselves together first. When we're in a position of strength, we can do something. But right now, we're not in a position of strength, and I'm hoping Subhanahu wa Ta'ala will grant us that when we help ourselves to that. So my dear sisters and brothers, today I explained about these herbs and Ramadan a little bit. I'm hoping that you got something out of this. And again, if you missed something, review the tape again, inshallah. And if not, then write me in my email or write me in my WhatsApp, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can and give you my feedback and stuff. So my sisters and brothers, thank you again for all showing up And those who are not in the chat room are showing up as well to support your brother. And I'm hoping that you got something out of this again. And so I will leave you with the words of Jinnah. Salamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.